Shart Select.
Hello and welcome to Shart Select Follow Through. I'm Winstolf and I'm joined by Stu.
Yep.
No, it's not. Just say hi. Come on, the listeners are here now. Say hi to the listeners.
Hello, listeners.
Don't just go, yep.
Yep.
And I'm also, shut up. I'm also joined by Ryan.
Hello. But question before you carry on.
Carry on with the question.
Why did you introduce us by our names, but you always introduce yourself by Winstolf?
I was just going to say that.
I asked you right at the start, do you want to be known as Digeztive and Cheesecloth? And you both said, no, we'll just be Stu and Ryan. I asked you this way back in the beginning, so do not come back at me with this.
Say I'm Craig.
I'll say what I want.
Why don't you go to Mr. Internet, though?
I'm Chodylocks.
What do you mean, Mr. Internet?
Yeah, hiding behind your fucking screen name.
Yeah, it's alias. You don't want an alias.
Because A, I choose to, and B, I hate my own name. True fact. I don't like my name.
Yeah, you can be whatever you want online.
Exactly. Thank you, Ryan.
Count Joe if you want.
Exactly, but I choose to be Winstolf.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to be known as Cheesecloth from now on, Ryan?
No, because I've changed my online name now.
To Shart Select Ryan?
No.
What are you now?
No, it is, but on Steam and everywhere else it's Beast 87 now, because that's the same on Origin and Epic and everywhere else.
Okay.
I'll just keep it all the same.
Welcome to Shart Select Follow Through. I'm Winstolf and I'm joined by Beast 87.
Yeah, just call me Ryan, it's fine.
For God's sakes. And I'm also joined by Mr. Fancy Pants Microphone Man, smart ass Stu. Hi, Stu.
Hello. We've done this once.
There we go. Yes, I know. It's a joke, Stu.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, God. Okay, so today on Follow Through, we were going to be discussing Die Hard, but then we decided we weren't feeling it. So instead, we've got to jump on that bandwagon, guys. We've got to snap our fingers and talk about... Thank you, Stu. And talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. From beginning to end, a brief summary of each film and where we think it's going next.
Except Endgame, because Ryan's not seen it yet.
And spoilers for
and most of the world probably hasn't seen it yet, so we don't want to be. If we spoil that, right, I think Chris Evans is going to come around our house and kill us himself. Not the radio DJ, the actor that plays Captain America.
Not the ginger DJ that failed at Top Gear.
Yeah, he's like, oh, let me tell you about my son and my midlife crisis. Then batter you to death in your own living room. He beat you to death with his own massive sense of self-importance. Okay, so when we've finished bagging on popular British radio DJs, shall we begin with Iron Man, which was 2008, and stars Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, of course. Who else was in it? Jeff Bridges was in it. He was the baddie.
He was, yeah.
Obadiah Comstain. Which is what he was called in the comics, but they had to change his name for the movies.
Oh,
True
right.
fact. Yeah, and Gwyneth Paltrow was Pepper Potts. And Jon Favreau, who also directed it, played Happy Hogan, who was like his bodyguard, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, have we given a very brief plot summary for each one?
Yeah.
So, the brief plot summary for the first Iron Man. Stu, do you want to go for this one? We'll take it in turns.
No, go on, you do it.
Me? You say,
Who wants to do it?
Winstolf here.
Winstolf here. I'll do it. It's my superhero name. Okay. Well, that's my secret superhero name that they call me in certain bars and nightclubs around the UK.
Right.
And so Iron Man. Whoa! But cow! I have to be careful not to thread it into my jeans when I do them up.
Oh, I thought you said pudding it.
Where did that come from? Was that some old joke from years
That's
ago?
a very old one, yeah. That was. I think that's what you called me one time when we were on holiday, wasn't it? Don't you fucking start pudding dick.
I'm sure you were asking for it. Dick like a steak and kidney pudding. Okay. So the story for Iron Man is that Tony Stark is an arrogant billionaire weapons dealer who gets captured by some baddies in some unnamed terrorist organisation. Is it an unnamed Middle Eastern country, or do they actually say?
I don't know if they say it, but it's the Ten Rings, isn't it? The same organisation the Mandarin runs.
They're from the comics, aren't they? Ten Rings.
Yeah, some Mandarins, like little group.
That's right. So they capture him, and but in the explosion where they capture him in the ambush, he gets some shrapnel stuck in his heart.
Yeah.
So they hook him up to basically a car battery and an electromagnet to keep him alive, and make him build weapons for them.
Yeah.
Except he instead, because they're really bad at watching him for some reason, he manages to build a full suit of power armor with flamethrowers and other sorts on it.
And then rockets and machine guns and that.
Yeah, that's right. And he escapes into the desert. And then when he goes back to America, he kind of develops this idea and creates the Iron Man suit, along with his mate, the wrong Rhodey, played by Terrence Howard. And then he fights Obadiah Comstein, who's the head of Stark's company, and has built a big, like, thick boy Iron Man suit. And he beats him, and he says at the end, "I am Iron Man," and that's the end. And it's like,
basically
cool.
Yeah.
So that was
Then Nick Fury shows up, doesn't he? In post credits.
Oh yeah, after credit scene, Nick Fury shows up, says, "I'm Nick Fury," and that's the end of the film, pretty much, isn't it?
It's about an initiative of bringing like-minded people together.
That's the one, yeah. In my memory, it just says, "I'm Nick Fury." But yeah, I think your version was better. How many shots out of 5 would you give it, Ryan?
That was a pretty good start to the film, and that it was all right.
How many shots?
I reckon 4, I reckon, yeah.
I'm in agreement. A good 4 shots out of 5 for that one, Stu.
Yeah, 4, I'd say.
No, there you go, 4 shots out of 5. So hang on, what I'm going to do to go along, I'm going to quickly make a list of what we score each one.
The next one to release, a lot of people sort of didn't agree that it was part of the MCU, but it was The Incredible Hulk, 2008 release, with, what's his name? Edward Norton. Yeah, as Bruce Banner. Had Liv Tyler in it, who also played his love interest in the 2004 one with Eric.
Really?
Didn't it? Wasn't it?
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm sure it was. But it also didn't it also have I'm sure it had like similar characters in it, or maybe it's just someone that really looked alike.
I confess I've not watched either of the Hulk films, so
It's pretty good actually.
I'm trusting you guys to explain this one to
I
me.
keep getting them mixed
It's
up.
pretty good.
They released like a year apart or something daft, weren't they?
No, it was about 4 years.
Yeah, that was the
I'll have
first
a quick
one.
Google in a minute. But
The first one was either 01 or 03, I think. The Ang Lee one with Eric Banner.
Yeah.
But I've not seen either of them.
I'll have a look in a minute, see if we can bring something up. So it's got Tim Roth in it, who's the
British bloke from all those Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, who plays the baddie, who also becomes the Abomination later on. Yeah, and it's a pretty good fight actually. You've also got, I can't remember what his name is, but some guy drinks some of the serum as well and grows a big head.
Oh,
that was fun.
And he becomes
the
mastermind
leader.
or something like
That's
that.
him, the leader.
Well, they set up thread points for him to become the leader, but nothing ever came of it.
They kind of buried that one.
Yeah.
In the wonky early days of the MCU.
Yeah, but the story of that is he's trying to control his anger and that. So at the start, he's hiding away, and he's got there's like a clock thing saying it's like days without incident, like 1,000 days or something. And then they find him, and then he's running away, and then it goes to 0. He breaks out as the Hulk, and that goes on the run again. Blah blah blah.
Am I right in thinking it doesn't bother with the origin story? It just jumps straight into the.
Yeah, it sort of carries on unofficially from the original one with Eric Banner in it.
Yeah, I kind of thought it was a sequel, but it wasn't.
No, yeah.
Like
So it's already happened. There's no origin story.
Okay, cool.
And then at the end of it, he learns meditation and that to activate Hulk when he wants, basically.
Does some yoga.
Yeah. So at the end, he's meditating, and it's like days without incident, and it clocks down to 0, and he opens his eyes in the green, and that's where the credits roll.
Is there a dramatic transformation scene where he turns into Mark Ruffalo?
No, but that is
suggested.
It's when because Mark Ruffalo says that he put a gun. He tried to shoot himself, like he shot himself in the head, but the big guy spat the bullet out. So
yeah,
it's suggested that when the Hulk's regeneration powers regenerated a different face.
So it was suggesting that he went from being a wiry, scary-looking bloke to like your favourite uncle. So yeah, that was Hulk. How many shots would you give it, Ray?
It's good. I'd probably give it about 3, I think.
Missed you?
I don't know, 2.5 maybe for me.
Okay, so how many scores would you two give The Incredible Hulk 2008?
Right, sorry, give me 1 second. Right, so Hulk 2008, I'd probably give it 2.5. Sharts. And said stars then.
Sharts, yeah. Well,
2.5 Sharts. And I just want to correct myself with the Ang Lee directed Hulk film, which was 2003.
Well, there you go.
It wasn't Liv Tyler, it was somebody else that looks like her.
Oh, fair enough.
Fair
enough.
Jennifer
That's one of the
Connelly.
Hulk dogs, isn't it?
I don't remember that one, but there's some really awkward scenes of bad CGI in that one. If you Google it and check it out on YouTube, there's somewhere it's like it looks plastic. it's like plastic Hulk.
Doesn't the intro last for about half an hour as well? Like a really long time, if not half an hour. With all the credits.
It's weird how it's shot. It's like got different bits where the scene sort of splits off into different panels, like a comic book.
Yeah, it's like
pretty good.
Yeah.
Ang Lee's quite an artsy director, though, isn't he? So, do you want to jump on to the next film? Next film was 2010's Iron Man 2, which was the first one I ever watched.
That was all right.
Yeah, it was same director and cast again, Jon Favreau with Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow. The baddie this time was...
with Don Cheadle this time.
John Deedle was the correct Rhodey.
Yeah.
And we also had... Oh, what's his name who played the baddie? The guy with the face guy. What's he called? Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke was the...
Ricky Mork.
With Whiplash.
Yeah.
Ricky Mork, yeah.
Ricky Mork, yeah.
And Justin Hammer was another baddie. He was like Tony Stark, but without any morals.
Yeah. It's pretty funny where they're trying to show some scenes, don't they? They're like, I can see everybody else trying to copy my Iron Man suit, and it's all these robots where they're just spinning around, or like with people in it. And
it's
like,
brutal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty grim.
Sam Rockwell, he's the guy that played Justin Hammer. And Stu, do you want to go through the story for that one?
Yeah, so government's trying to take the Iron Man suit, aren't they? Trying to make it a government property thing because they're saying it's dangerous because other people try and copy it, like you said. But then Mickey Rourke, his dad, tried to make it an arc reactor, didn't he? And then Mickey Rourke perfects it. He doesn't look like a scientist dude, does he, Mickey Rourke? But yeah.
No, he looks like a Russian terrorist.
Yeah, so he makes a Whiplash suit. And then...
Yeah.
Jumps Tony Stark while he's in like a weird knockoff Formula 1 race.
Knockoff Formula 1 around Monaco, yeah. I remember that bit.
Yeah, but that briefcase suit is one of my favourite ones.
That was really cool. When he slides the suitcase and it just transforms into an Iron Man suit.
He puts his hands in it like that and it just lifts it up, opens it over his chest, and it just grows around him. It's pretty badass.
That was very cool. Yeah, so what happens then, Stu? Go on, finish it off for us. Finish us off.
So then Justin Hammer breaks him out of prison.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny stealing now. He breaks out of prison.
Just like Ryan finished scratching his gooch again. They must really like that scene.
Oh, who doesn't?
Tries to get him to make his own Iron Man suit, doesn't he? Like a Justin Hammer suit.
Yeah.
He makes these autonomous robot efforts, doesn't he? But like programs him so they respond to Mickey Rourke and not
Justin Hammer. He overrides them, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Justin Hammer.
Happy Hogan and Black Widow have to go and...
Yeah, Black Widow's in this one, isn't she?
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson.
And Spider-Man's in this film as well.
Is he?
Is it confirmed? Is it?
Yeah, it is confirmed.
Is
he? It's like some debris falling or something towards a kid who's wearing an Iron Man helmet and...
No, it's not debris, it's a robot going for him. And he's got the kid's got an Iron Man helmet on. So the robot goes to shoot the kid because it's recognised the Iron Man helmet. And then the kid holds his hand up like he's got a repulsor as well. But Iron Man jumps down and shoots him and says, like, good work, kid, and then flies off.
Oh, okay. And so that's just tied that in.
And that kid is a young Peter Parker.
Ah, nice. I like that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and then the end battle is with Rhodey as War Machine in another Iron Man suit that's been all army-fied with guns on it. And start just back to back like a cool video game scene, shooting other buddies.
You get that because Iron Man and Tony Stark's having a drunk party at his house wearing the Iron Man suit.
Oh, yeah.
And he's flinging plates and that and he's shooting him. And Rhodey suits up to sort of calm him down a bit, yeah. And he has a drunk battle. and in the end he flies off with the spare suit because he was told to get one by the military as well.
Yeah.
And then they add a load of weapons onto it because he goes to Justin Hammer, who's like got the military contracts, and he gets all these guns out, doesn't he? And he's like, "Which ones do you want on it?" And he's like, "All of them."
I remember.
And they fit all them guns on it, don't they? And then
Quite a lot.
Because John Deedle's
John Deedle.
his War Machine suit gets hacked by Whiplash as well, but Jarvis overrides it, doesn't he? I think somebody does.
I think so.
Or he crashes or something, and then he manages to lose it. Because there's a bit where Don Cheadle's stuck in the suit chasing Iron Man, but he can't do anything about it, and he's just talking to Tony over the radio.
Oh, I think I remember that, but yeah. So that's Iron Man 2.
Yeah, saying, "I've got a lock on," and they're trying to dodge out of the way.
Yeah, a lot happened in that one.
Yeah.
No, there's a bit at the end where they're talking about the Avengers Initiative thing again. How Tony Stark doesn't play well with others or something, and there's like a map in the background, and it's got all the points where there's different people. So there's like a couple in America for obviously the American Avengers, and there's one in Africa for Wakanda, and then there's one in the Atlantic Ocean for Atlantis.
Yeah, the Submariner.
Nice try, Aquaman. You're DC.
Oh, the Submariner.
I know, I'm being silly, Ryan.
And there's also one around Britain as well. Or am I imagining that?
No, I don't think there is.
Captain Pikey.
Captain Britain, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so that was Iron Man 2. How many sharts out of 5 would you give Iron Man 2, Ryan?
Maybe 3.5, I reckon.
Yeah.
It was good, but it wasn't like as good as the original Iron Man.
I thought it was better than the original. I'll go solid 4 for that. A nice solid shart, 4 sharts.
I'll join you with a nice, hard, powerful, erect 4-star, 4 sharts. I keep wanting to say stars, Ryan. I don't know why I keep wanting to say stars. There's an established system in the movie industry where people say stars. It's sharts. You get your shart on the Hollywood Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. Right. What was you going to say?
So also, there's obviously this is where the post-credit scene sort of. I know they started from the first one as well, but this is introduces at the end of Iron Man 2 is where it dropped, and it's Agent Coulson, who was a star in almost all of the films as well. Where it says like, "Sir, we found it," and it cuts back, and it's Mjolnir.
Yeah,
and that sets up for the next MCU release, which was it was Thor.
I think it was 2011.
I think it was, yeah. May 2011. So 1 year later, Thor released,
which was directed by Kenneth Branagh. He's a famous Shakespearean actor, and starred Chris Hemsworth as the God of Thunder, Sir Anthony Hopkins as Chodin. Sorry, Odin.
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston was Loki.
Yeah.
And
it's got Natalie Portman.
The
love interest.
The Portmeister herself as Jane Foster.
Yep.
And Stellan Skarsgård was in it.
It's quite a big cast, to be honest.
It was, yeah.
We got Stu's mate Ray Stevenson.
Ray Stevenson.
Oh yeah, he was in it. Yeah.
He was in it. Yeah, he was one of Thor's cronies.
Oh yeah. Oh, and Idris Elba was Heimdall.
Yeah.
He was cool. Gold armor.
Couple more names on there. Rene Russo.
Rene Russo.
Yeah. Kat Dennings.
Kat Dennings off Two Broke Girls, was it? Yeah. That's the comic relief character.
And Colm Feore. Feore.
Colm Feore. I've heard of him before.
Yeah. Was the cast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Hawkeye, as played by Jeremy Renner.
Strangely enough, he's not listed on the Wikipedia page.
He was only a cameo, wasn't he?
But it should have said he was starring in it. Yeah, so that set up, obviously, another character for the Avengers. So far we're up to 5, aren't we? Including but not including Mark Ruffalo.
The Gruffalo.
Because it's got Edward Norton at the moment. It's there, but the other one we were waiting for was the Cap, which we'll talk about next.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we're on Thor.
That's right. Stu, do you want to describe the events of Thor?
It's really forgettable, isn't it? But basically, Thor gets cast out of Asgard, and then he has to find himself worthy again so he can Mjolnir, because Mjolnir is like saying he's not worthy. So then he has to fuck around there. Then Loki tries to take over Asgard, and then he sends a destroyer after Hulk. Thor, and then Thor finds himself
Destroy
worthy.
being a big robot.
Yeah, finds himself worthy just in time so he can batter the destroyer. And then Thor and the Warriors 3 go back to Asgard and have a tea party, and that's it.
Oh, just to describe it a bit better than Stu
So,
did.
so basically, Thor's being an arrogant bellend, thinking he's all that.
And goes to start a war with his next door neighbours.
Yeah, and Odin's like, "What are you doing?" You're like,
Cruel,
to Asgard,
arrogant little
guardian
boy."
of the Nine Realms."
Very naughty bastard.
You replace him with a Pez, which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
There's that scene you showed me.
Have some candy,
Yeah.
father.
But yeah, I think Anthony Hopkins is a Class A actor anyway.
Yeah, he's unbeatable, and he's Hannibal Lecter, for God's sakes.
But he's not. He's Odin.
Odin Lecter.
He's not Hannibal Lecter in this film,
He
is
is.
he? He's
The thing where he goes, "Yes, Loki," like that. No, see that bit.
But yeah, so Thor's a knob. Cast him away so he can learn to be a better man or whatever.
Just fucking man up.
Yeah,
Himself.
and then he gets himself all ready just in time to defeat a big robot.
Yeah.
And then he goes back, but then there's also weird points as well where he destroys the Rainbow Bridge. I can't remember what it's actually called.
The Rainbow Road off Mario Kart. No, it's the Bifrost.
That's it. He destroys that. And he says,
"Destroy the Bifrost."
"You'll be stuck on Asgard forever." He destroys it, but then
He's not stuck on Asgard forever. It's fine.
Yeah.
They mend it.
So they sort of just
get a new one, don't they?
it's just weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's weird, and it shows it's rebuilt again. But
And Loki gets cast out into a void.
yeah, he falls, doesn't he?
Yeah, Thor tries to save him,
Yeah,
but
so
he can't.
he dies, but doesn't die. And so
Well, spoiler alert for a film that's like nearly 10 years old, right? God. Yeah, but that's true. So that was Thor. How many shots do you give Thor then, guys?
I spoke about the after credits bit when it turns out Loki's not dead, is he? Because he's like possessed.
Oh, yeah.
Professor
a
Book,
security guard. Oh, yeah, in the shield facility, isn't it?
Yeah, Eric Selvig.
Selvig.
Yeah, he gets shown the Tesseract by Nick Fury, doesn't he? And then Loki's in his reflection or something.
Yeah, and Loki gets really sexy looking eyes to the Tesseract, like, Tesseract! Like he really wants a bit of that fucking Tesseract. And that's where it kind of ends, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how many stars? How many shots do we give Thor then, y'all? Anyone can go first.
1.5.
3.
3.
1.5. Stu, that is 3. I want to say 3 as well.
It's still good.
No,
I'm with Ryan. 3
It's
shots.
the weakest MCU film by far.
No. Have you not seen The Dark World?
I thought Dark
That's
World was
pretty
better.
No, is it bollocks? The first one's well better. 3.
It's not well better.
All right, we'll go off to go somewhere in the middle. Say
2.
2 stars, yeah?
2
Shots.
stars. 2 shots.
Thank you.
2 shots.
Shots. God, don't get on brand, guys. Come on. All right, so 2 shots out of 5. And I'm unhappy with that, but that's the way the rules work. Because I thought Thor was a perfectly solid entry into the Marvel universe.
Perfectly solid. It was good, but Thor's
No, because they tried to
character
play
was
Thor
portrayed
off as
too
all-
old school.
Yeah, I was going to say they tried to play him off as all Shakespearean stuff.
Yeah.
It was quite funny when he threw his glass on the floor and said, "Ha ha ha, more please," in that cafe.
Yeah, another.
That was funny.
But there's just like his mannerisms and that were too out of place.
Yeah, I guess. He kind of developed into a better character as it went on, didn't he?
Well, only when they did Ragnarok, which we'll talk about shortly.
Ragnarok. Right, so next
Where
up-
are you getting these weird films from?
Oh, am I watching different versions of it?
Yeah.
Oh, God. that's all-
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. Sounds painful.
Right. So next was released in the July of the same year, and it was Captain America, the First Avenger, which was teased in Iron Man 2, where he's making that new element,
Yeah.
and he sets up this, I don't know what it's called, but he needs the shield, and he's like, this is perfect what I need, and he lifts it up and just puts it in place to support something. But
That's
it's
right, yeah.
Captain America's shield
Yeah.
as a hint
So-
towards what's coming.
In Captain America starred Chris Evans as Steve Rogers. Sebastian Stan was his mate Bucky Barnes. And
Yep.
it also had Hugo Weaving as the Red Skull.
Yeah.
Or Dr. Schmidt. And Dr. Arnim Zola was Toby Jones, a.k.a. that little British fella that's in loads of stuff.
Yeah. You know who else was in it you've not mentioned?
Go on.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, yeah. Old boggling face himself, Tommy Lee Jones. He's got a head like a boglin. It also had, who else was in it who's like pretty recognisable? Or an important character at least. Dominic Cooper. No, there was. Oh yeah, he was Stark, wasn't he? Howard Stark, Tony Stark's dad. And Hayley Atwell was Peggy Carter, who's an important character as well. And do you want me to do the story for this one?
Yeah, you've got the one.
So this one was about some little. He's called me Yeezy, like Kanye West.
Yeah.
Sharty. So Steve Rogers is a little scrawny guy in Brooklyn in the middle of World War II, and he wants to go and join the army, but he keeps getting knocked back because he's, a little scrawny guy. But he always stands up to people because he doesn't like bullies, and he gets battered for it all the time. And his mate Bucky Barnes goes to join the army, and because he can't join, he keeps trying to fake his papers so that he can keep joining up. And then a scientist played by Stanley Tucci, is he called Erskine?
I can't remember what his name is, but
takes him under his wing and starts training him up for this special program. And he shows he shows loads of fortitude in training and stuff.
Yeah, he's training with the other men, isn't he, on the camp and that? Because there's that scene with the flag.
Yeah, he uses his head.
Yeah, but there's a couple of tests in it because Tommy Lee Jones is like, he talks like, "What, you want this guy?"
He's like, "I want a boggling head."
And he's like, yeah. So they throw a grenade down, don't they? And it goes grenade, and everyone runs away. But
Stark jumps on it.
Yeah, but
says, "Get out of here!"
What's his name? Yeah, Steve Rogers jumps on it and cowers over it like that, waiting to explode, but it doesn't. So he's thinking, he's got the heart of a soldier.
That's right. So he does this process where they pump him full of super serum, and then he becomes. Say again.
Superroids in the robot voice that was,
yeah. Superroids, and he becomes Captain America, like proper big old hedge boy, big old chunky.
Goes from it's something like 5'7" to 6'4" or something, and comes out, and then Peggy Carter's like proper touching his pecs.
Yeah,
I think she broke character there, and she's like, ooh.
Yeah, and then an attack happens on the lab by the evil Hydra division of the Third Reich, and they escape with the super serum, and they kill Dr. Erskine whilst they're doing so. So Cap runs after him and batters the guy. Like, he tries to escape in the submarine, doesn't he?
Yeah,
and he dives after him, rips him out the submarine.
Yeah, and he bites on a cyanide tooth.
Yeah, that's right, and dies. But the serum's broken in the chase, so there's no more serum.
Yeah.
There's just Cap. And then Cap tries to go to the war to fight the Red Skull, who's the evil Nazi scientist of Hydra, who's developing all these weird weapons. But he can't go because they make him do silly dances instead to raise money for the war effort.
Yeah.
It's
like a cheerleader, basically.
Yeah. Who's gonna do? I can't remember where it goes, but it's just that little song bit.
And basically, he's just punching Hitler through all the different around all the states of America, isn't he?
That's right. And then something happens. He's doing one in the war zone, isn't he? For the troops.
I think so, yeah.
And then he hears Bucky Barnes has been kidnapped, so he goes to rescue her.
Yeah.
And then what happens after that? He brings them all home after a big battle.
And there's a big praise for him, isn't there?
Then he becomes proper Captain America and goes to fight the Red Skull. And he finds out the Red Skull's got the Tesseract, which is one of the Infinity Stones, which can... What's it do? It controls... What's that control? Space.
Yeah, it's a space zone, isn't it?
Yeah. So he has a fight with the Red Skull on a plane that's headed for New York to bomb it. And then the Red Skull tries to grab the Tesseract and just like dematerializes.
Yeah, well, it goes all like burning on his hands and that, and it just goes and then just disappears. So for years and years, people thought he just disappeared, but he was actually teleported away.
Yeah, but more about that later. And the plane crashes because Cap's out to steer it because it's a weird experimental Hydra plane. Yeah, so he has to crash it into the ocean along with the Tesseract. And then there's an after credits scene, am I right, where Cap wakes up.
No, they find the plane, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. And then is it after credits where he wakes up there? And he bursts out onto Times Square in modern day, and he's like, what the fuck? And then Nick Fury comes and goes, hi, I'm Nick Fury. And that's the end of the film. That's what Nick Fury says in every post credits.
Yeah.
That's right. You've been asleep, Cap. I'm Nick Fury.
Yeah.
And then Cap says, where's Boggling Face? And he says he died 20 years ago.
Everybody died. The only one that's still alive is Peggy Carter, but she's old.
She's real old. And that's what he says.
Boggling Face.
What's that? Yeah. Look at Tommy Lee Jones nowadays. He looks like a boglin attached to a body. Once you've seen it, you can't ever unsee it. So how many Sharts do we give Captain America as the first Avenger there?
I give it 3.
3.5 for me.
Yeah, 3.5. I thought it was good.
Yeah, should we say 3.5?
Okay.
All right, 3.5. Stu sounds a bit disappointed there. Come on, Stu, be happy with it. 3.5. It's got Captain America in it. You like him?
And then 2012 arrived.
12.
After a lot of anticipation and trailers. The Avengers released the first one.
Sorry. The Avengers, or as it was called in the UK, Avengers Assemble, to avoid a copyrighted issue with an old British TV series called The Avengers, which was some twat with an umbrella and Joanna Lumley.
So we're not talking about that one. We're talking about the MCU Avengers.
Yeah, man.
Which was directed by Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon, yep. We did Buffy the Vampire Slayer and all that business. Very well.
And obviously it's got a big list of people.
It's got a big cast.
Basically everybody that's already been mentioned.
Yeah. So
and it's the 6.
Yeah. So just briefly, the main Avengers are Captain America, Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk, now played by Mark the Gruffalo, not Edward Norton.
No.
Who else is there in the main Avengers? Black Widow, Thor,
and Hawkeye.
And Chalkeye. It's called so because he can write on the blackboard using his face. And the baddies are Loki, also coming back from Thor, and we've got the guy with six fingers in space. I don't know what it's called.
6 fingers.
Yeah, the Chitauri leader man. The one that like strokes Loki's face with his creepy hand when he has that vision with it.
The Chitauri.
Yeah, Chitauri leader man. And of course, Thanos himself appears at the end, doesn't he?
Yeah, only at the end. You don't really see anything with him.
He just does this kind of shit-eating grin at the camera, like...
Yeah, but he's like, look, guess who I am. But that's like the post-credit scene. So all you really know is that Loki's invading, isn't he, really, with the Chitauri army to take over I was going to say England then. Take over Earth.
I say. So who wants to describe the events of this one then?
I can do. Yeah.
Go on then, go. You're on. Spotlight on you.
So it starts off where they're researching the Tesseract in this secret bunker in bottom of a shield facility, and it's like, where's Hawkeye? And he's like stood really, really far away. He's like, I can see better from distance.
That's right. Yeah, just on some random balcony, isn't he?
Yeah. Like he's like squatting on top of it like an eagle.
Yeah, because he is Hawkeye.
Yeah.
So like, on top of the balcony.
Yeah, flapping his arms arms and running around like a kid pretends to be an airplane.
All poo all down the side of his balcony is terrible.
And then this, I think it's Selvig, and it said it's like a gateway.
Yeah,
it's a door.
That's right.
And then somebody says, well, the door opens both ways.
Thick Nori one episode that.
And then from nowhere, it's like it opens and Loki just walks out, like just opens the door, just walks out. Yeah, what's up, Loki?
And
then tells everyone to kneel, and they like start shooting at him. So he just like shoots him with his staff, and then goes up to close to people and prods them, and then they just turn into the slaves.
I remember a line from
Selvig and Hawkeye are the 2 main evil people.
I remember a line from it. He says, "Does a boot negotiate with an ant?" He says that.
Oh yeah.
When Nick Fury tries to have a go at him. Yeah, that's right. Carry on, right?
And then so it's try and keep him talking while they try and overload the facility. But he figures it out. He grabs the Tesseract. And I think he just legs it, doesn't he? Like an evil, sinister man just sort of runs away.
Him, Hawkeye, and Selvig escape on like a truck, don't they?
Yeah. And then the others have to drive off, which it kind of... So they're driving off while the facility's falling behind them, don't they? Maria Hill.
Oh, yeah.
And
another important character.
Maria Hill and... what's his name? Nick Fury are driving away. And it reminds me a lot of the end sequence of Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, with the Jeeps in the tunnel.
Yeah, the Jeep in the tunnel that's collapsing.
The bit at the start with the lab reminded me of the start of Half-Life.
Yeah.
Instead of aliens, it's Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, and then so they escape, and it's pretty good because you can see the facility all rises up from the explosion and then just sinks to the ground.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. And they all fly away on helicopter. And Nick Fury thinks it's a good idea to try and shoot at a moving helicopter with just a pistol.
Why does Nick Fury always do this thing where he tries to shoot things a long way away with a handgun?
Because he's only got one eye, so he can aim better.
That does not make sense.
No.
That's stupid, Nick Fury.
Tries to shoot
any theories?
He tries to shoot at a plane carrying a nuclear bomb with an RPG launcher as well.
Yeah, what a maniac.
He does, yeah.
What a loon. But anyway, yeah.
But he shoots one, though, doesn't he?
He does.
And then the other one flies off.
He tries to shoot that with a handgun. It's a fucking jet fighter, mate.
Right, so yeah, basically it's gone. It's all gone away, and he's like... So then he's trying to summon the Avengers, isn't he?
Yeah.
So they can do it, but it was all discontinued. And the council, who you never see the faces of, say, no, you're not doing it. Can't do it, not allowed.
And he does it anyway.
And he assembles the Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't work well together at first.
Because Tony Stark's just a dick relentlessly to everybody.
That's the problem with this film, though, because he's Joss Whedon. He sort of fucking Whedons everything and makes, like... He amplifies everyone's weird characteristics, so Thor becomes extra Shakespearean. Iron Man becomes extra knob. Captain America becomes extra fucking goody two-shoes.
Self-righteous goody two-shoes.
I really didn't have a problem with Joss Whedon's script in this at all. I don't mind Joss Whedon's.
The action is good, but yeah, if you look back at how the characters are then,
it's extra now. And it's extra campy as well.
I don't have a problem with it at all. I mean, I've not seen this side of it before, guys.
At the side, it's awesome, but if you look back at it now, like, it just doesn't hold up as well with how the characters have progressed. Like, it's just... Yeah,
they have evolved from there, but...
Yeah, it just seems so out of place now because of the way Whedon directed it. It's just weird.
I've never did. So, I've watched it back recently. I didn't think it was that bad.
So there's a couple of...
No, so
then it cuts now back to them sort of assembling the people together.
Yeah.
So it's like Black Widow's told she needs to get the big guy.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, Stark said no, the big guy.
Yeah, the old.
Which is the old Chulk fella. So it cuts away then where she's trying to assemble everybody, isn't she? But she's being interrogated by some Russian fellas at the start.
Oh yeah.
And then it's a phone call to them, and she said, "It's for you."
It's Agent Coulson, isn't it?
And it's Agent Coulson ringing the terrorist that she's being like interrogated by. And then she beats them up with a chair, which is pretty good.
Yeah, her scenes are all pretty decent.
Yeah, and then she has to go and find Bruce Banner, doesn't she?
Who's in India healing people, being good. Even though he's turned into Mark Ruffalo, he's not complained about it. He's like, I'm Mark Ruffalo now. I am the Gruffalo. This is my life. This is me. He's just starting with his life, and then she comes and recruits him.
Yeah,
and then doesn't Agent Coulson have to go and get Tony Stark?
Yeah, who gets captain there? The captain,
Nick Fury. He goes to fight him in the gym.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's in the gym punching a load of sandbags.
That's right. Yeah, and being a grumpy boy because he wants to go and save the Earth.
Yeah. And who gets Thor then?
Thor just appears later.
Yeah, he shows up trying to get Loki, doesn't he? Because they don't know about Thor yet. Or do they?
Ah, that's right, yeah.
Oh, they must do.
No, they don't.
But they don't have to get
no.
The
other Avengers don't, yeah.
They know from the first film, yeah.
Yeah, because they don't like the idea that he can just turn up whenever he wants.
Yeah, there's a big fight between Cap, Thor, and Iron Man over
yeah.
Loki. Even though they could have just stopped and gone, hang on a minute, why are you here, mate? And it would have settled everything.
Yeah, because he wants to take Loki away, doesn't he? And he tries to, but then Loki escapes again.
Yeah, instead of having the big grumpy fight.
Yeah, I still remember that scene where Tony started with a fight and he goes, "Does mother know you weareth her drapes?"
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That's classic how you expect Thor to sound, because he's like proper Shakespearean for some reason.
Yeah, but yeah, and Loki allows himself to be captured.
Yeah.
And then they go to the helicarrier.
And then his plan is to break them up from within, isn't he? Yeah, by using mind trickery. And it partially works, but then it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then it does work, and then it doesn't work.
Yeah, because he's captured on the helicarrier, which is like a big aircraft carrier but flies.
Yeah.
And they're all on there trying to solve the mystery and trying to find the Tesseract, because it uses gamma rays. So it's like, hey, gamma rays, that's Bruce Banner's thing. Let's get him on it. And then Iron Man's there being a chode bag. Yeah,
but they kept saying to him that they only want him for his gamma expertise, but really they secretly want the Hulk as well.
Yeah, of course they do, man. It's like if you said to Ryan, we want you here for the podcast, but really we want you here for your seething good looks. It's the same thing. I would say something nice for Stu, but I can't think of it. Sorry, Stu.
Right. Oh.
Stu still... Oh, there he is. I thought you were gone, Stu. You've been quiet for a while.
Yeah, I went for a poop.
So anyway...
Oh, fair enough.
So anyway, Loki's building this big sort of thing that's going to open up a portal for the Chitauri to come through.
Big portal.
Yeah. And so as he's building that, there's sort of just one step behind him all the way. And they're thinking, where's he going to build it? Where's he going to build it? And then, of course, he wants to build it on top of Tony Stark Tower.
Yeah, I want to address this bit because it's super obvious where he's going to build it all the way through the film. Because Tony Stark just activated this like massive power generator that never needs any fuel.
Yeah.
That he even says a source of infinite energy. And they're all there going, we need some infinite energy. Where are they going to put it? Where is he gonna? Oh, come on, think. I'm just there. Come on, it's really obvious. And it's like, oh yeah, shit. Top of Stark Tower, dickhead.
So then the portal opens, don't they? And then that's where they're like, oh shit, what's happening here? And they all group up, and they manage to contain the invasion just through a few blocks, don't they?
Yeah, the Chitauri invasion, who are like some weird aliens with masks.
Yeah,
and they have these vehicles that are like big whaley things that go ooh, fly about in the sky.
I have skipped some out here because they weren't working very well, so they needed like a push, don't they, for them to work together.
That's right, yeah.
Like a goal.
Yeah.
And due to the unfortunate demise of Agent Coulson,
when Loki escaped,
except he lives on in the TV series.
Never mind
about that.
Yeah.
So as Loki escapes, he kills Coulson. So Nick Fury put some spiel together about
he was a big
I can't even speak.
Oh, Ryan's getting so emotional, guys.
I know, yeah. I can't even speak.
Saying Coulson was like a big Avengers fan, and it's like, look what he sacrificed for you. And they're like, he sacrificed his life. And they all get together. Yeah.
They had some playing cards here with Captain America on. They just wanted to sign because he's a big fan of you and blah, blah, blah.
That's right, yeah.
Pulling on them heartstrings. And then anyway, they go down to work together.
Yeah.
And so they're all stood, aren't they, like that? And Tony Stark's thinking, I know the Hulk will turn up. Bruce Banner will be here. He'll come. Yeah,
because Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, fell out with the helicarrier when Loki escaped.
Yeah.
Because he jumped onto a jet fighter and punched the pilot out pretty much, which was really cool. He's like, I've got him. Oh no, I've not got him. And then he jumps out onto the front of the jet.
Yeah. And then, really cool. So they're all stood in this circle, aren't they? And then, lo and behold, on a little tiny bike, Bruce Banner rocks up. And they're all stood there, and it's like, and Cap steps up as the leader, doesn't he, and tells them what we're going to do.
Says, I really going to need you to suit up, Banner.
Yeah, so it's like Hulk, use your lightning and that, and keep him contained. Tony Stark, if they go too far, turn them around, send them back to us. I'll be on the ground here with Black Widow, Hawkeye's on that building up there. And then it says like Hulk, smash.
That's right.
Isn't it? That's pretty good.
And the Hulk kind of goes, I say, yeah, go on then. That was the scene. I remember Stu famously said when this film first came out. Stu said he saw that scene, and in Stu's own word, he came.
It's true.
Yeah, I remember you said that at the time. I was like, fucking hell, Stu's getting way too excited.
And Hulk, smash.
Hulk, smash all over my face, Hulk. That's what Stu said. That was actually an audio clip I just played back. I didn't even say that. That's Stu's voice. So yeah, they fight the Chitauri, and then they battle Loki as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Or Hulk battles
Loki. And they want to. So yeah, and they want to arrest him, don't they? Keep him on Earth.
Yeah.
But Thor says no. And then there's a bit in there where he's talking to the council. Why did you keep Loki? He says, "Well, I wanted to, but I didn't want to argue with the god that took him."
Yeah, that's right. Take it up with the god that took him or something. That's right. And that's the end of the Avengers. Chitauri are beat. Loki's gone back to Odin jail. Asgard jail, rather. And that's the end of that one. How many shards would you give that one, Ryan?
4.5, I reckon.
Yeah, Stu?
Just 4, I reckon. 4 for me.
Solid 5-shard performance for me. So I'm going to have to say 4.5 to make it even, yeah? Yeah, solid 5-shard. I fucking love Avengers Assemble. It's a good roller coaster action movie. It's aged quite well, I think, and I've got nothing against Joss Whedon. I thought Firefly was very good too. So yeah, 5. So should we say 4.5 to make it fair for all of us then?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the highest rated one yet.
And that was the end of Phase 1.
It was the end of Phase 1A. But I'd say this is the end of follow through episode number 4, MCU Phase 1 review. Before we go, is there anything else we want to talk about before the next episode? In brief?
No, or give a shout out to the GPA. The gang
of polyamorous antelopes.
Yeah.
Or the Gaming Podcast Alliance. Yeah, who are it's on the Instagram, isn't it? This one.
No, there's a website at gamepodcastalliance.com where you can go and see everybody's podcasts. There's links to it so you can ease of access.
Yeah, we're all good friends there. We all produce content of differing qualities and tone. Ours being the lowest in tone and the highest in quality, if I do say so myself. Disclaimer, some of that is lies.
No, we're like the naughty kids out at the back of the class.
Yeah, we are.
Throwing paper at the good boys over there.
Yeah, masturbating under the table. What?
Yeah. Wiping
shining, catching the sunlight with your watch and shining it in the teacher's eye, sort of children. That's what we are.
Taking your pants off and just defecating all over the desk.
What?
Passing the
Yeah,
spending an entire science lesson sniffing permanent marker. I did not do that, honestly.
No, I did that. Like, while I was watching Jesus Christ Superstar, I did that real lesson.
That was me and Tube that in science. Me, Tube, and Lee in science. Spent a whole lesson just passing this pen between us high as a kite by the end of it.
Mine was some mad manklad called Boy of Manchester for northern people called Nigel. And me and Nigel, we tried to get high whilst watching Jesus Christ Superstar. And he said he had a vision about screaming skulls attacking Pontius Pilate. But not the one.
Didn't he have Pope hats that said holy repetition?
That's right. There were Pope hats that said holy repetition on there. Well, remember. So yeah, that's the gaming podcast alliance. They're kind of a big deal, guys. Go and check it out. Anything you want to say to Ryan? You doing any good reviews lately, or working towards any reviews?
Well, no, but I'm still playing Satisfactory, which I need to record and we'll discuss in the next main show episode.
Yes,
about Satisfactory. I've also got Fantasy Blacksmith.
Fantasy Blacksmith
to talk to you about and do a video recording of that.
Sounds good.
I've also got a new one to play, but I cannot remember the name of it at the moment.
Shock Trucks.
Shock Trucks? I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
It looks like an arena fighter, but you play as trucks.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Plays big rigs. So next, just got to say where Ryan says the next episode, it's going to be episode 7, that isn't it?
Yeah,
when we talk about that. Episode 6 is going out tomorrow in real time, but this episode will be after episode 6.
So episode 6 will be released on the 29th of April, which will already happen by the time this episode is released.
Yeah. So I hope you all liked that episode because we thought it was hilarious. We were so professional. We interviewed so many people. Oh, it was, I'll tell you what, we really integrated with that con. We didn't run away. Ryan wasn't scared. It was amazing.
Yeah.
We were the Avengers of the Manchester Anime and Gaming Con. We were more like the Chitauri of the Anime and Gaming Con, weren't we? We showed up, got our asses handed to us and left. Too scared of Scorpion.
Scorpion.
Okay. So yeah, that was the end of this episode, I think, if we're all happy to call it a day.
Yep.
Usual stuff. You can find us at Shart Select Pod on Twitter. I'm at Winstolf. Ryan is at Shart Select Ryan. Stu is at Digeztive with a Z _. No, is it _1 or just 1? Just one, isn't it?
Yeah, just one.
Digeztive 1, that's the one. We're also on Instagram, Shart _select. That's an important one. And perhaps the most important of all, above all the others, we're on YouTube at Shart Select, where Ryan makes beautiful videos of him caressing his body. And also the episodes. One of those is not true. But which one? Yeah. Tune in to find out.
I think I'm ready. I've got to listen through episode 6 again and cut that out, and then that'll go on to the next highlight reel, and then that'll be good to go.
Ryan, I've got a question. Can you make a whole episode of just you rubbing your trousers?
Yeah,
that's basically what this episode is.
A video or just audio?
A video, like ASMR. Just mumbling, thick boys, into the camera every now and then.
Thick boys.
Thick boys. Thick boys.
Yeah. Has to do with surround sound though, so it feels like your head's in between my legs as I do as I'm
oh my god!
Thick boys.
Get out of my ASMR.
Thick boys.
Do you want to see the future episode, by the way, where we discuss the Shrek sequel we're working on, 5 Rec?
Yeah, we need to. We need,
5 Rec 2 Furious. It's gonna be amazing.
we've got to find audio though. Has anyone actually done any digging yet?
No.
Or are you waiting for me to do it?
No, the dream just lives in my head at the moment, but it's beautiful.
Even if it's just a sentence we can get together and then that'll be it.
That could be our
It'll be
one.
absolutely beautiful.
Oh, 5 Rec 2 Furious. It's going to be so good. All right, on that note, should we say goodbye to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Au revoir. Tell them you love them, Stu.
Goodbye.
Ooh, that was good, though.